Hey everybody, welcome to Board Games with the Family. Today we're taking a look at Mice and Dice. This is a game currently running on Kickstarter, and in case you're wondering, these aren't nearly the final components. These are just printed out on normal A4 pieces of paper from a print and play file I was given. Unfortunately, my printer also decided it was a good time to run out of yellow ink, which when you're doing a game about cheese and mice isn't massively helpful. This is why the game looks a lot washed out and far duller looking than the actual version that's on Kickstarter. So don't let the components put you off. Please go and check out Kickstarter if you're interested, and you'll see some proper photos and artwork, etc. of the actual components. But the components that I've got here are good enough to do a quick rules overview, and then what I'll get my son down and we'll do a quick two-player game through run through. So, Mice and Dice. At the beginning of the game, each player will roll a dice, and that will set their number for the rest of the game. Now, no two player can have the same number, so if you get the same number as somebody else, you re-roll until you've got different numbers. So in this gameplay example I've got, purple's ended up with 1, green got 4, blue got 3, and finally grey got 6. Okay, so if we were playing now, that's what their numbers would be. Now what does that mean? So if you look at the board, you'll see at the start of the game you only roll 1 dice. Once you progress to here, you get 2 dice, then 3, and then finally once you get to here, you'll have 5 dice all the way into the end. How do you move? So this isn't strictly speaking a roll and move game like Snakes and Ladders. What's going to happen is, on that player's turn, they'll roll the number of dice depending on where they are on the track. If they get their own number, they will move forward 2 spaces. So if purple was to roll a 1, he'd move forward 2 spots. However, if he didn't roll a 1, if he rolled instead of 4, he wouldn't move forward at all, but green would move forward 1 spot. So you move 2 spots if you roll your own number, and everybody else moves 1 spot if you roll their number. So far, so simple. However, the game really starts to take off once you're rolling more than 1 dice. Because once you're rolling more than 1 dice, you can get doubles. Doubles let you do essentially 4 different things. We'll do 3 different things for now. First of all, you can draw a mouse card. Mouse cards are good. They are playable on your own turn. You play it on yourself, and they are beneficial cards. Rat cards, you play on your turn. You play on another player, and this is harmful to them. And the third thing you can do with your card, with a double, is if a rat card's been played on you, you can discard it. Now you might think what the cheese one's here for. So cheese cards come into effect once a player has progressed past this box that says cheese on it. At that point, they can draw cheese cards instead. And what cheese cards do, they don't give you any powers, so to speak, but what they do, they let you move forward further. So for example, this guy on top, he's a Swiss cheese. Again, shouldn't be blue, it should be more yellowy. If green had Swiss cheese, that should be quite nice for him. If green can roll 2 4s, he can essentially spend the card and move forward 4 spaces. And that's the game, really. Once you get to the end, you win the game. And so it's a fairly simple game. I've played this with my son a few times now. It's sort of, I think I'd describe it as the next evolutionary step from something like Snakes and Ladders. So if you've got a child who might be anywhere between 4 and 6, that kind of age, or even a child brand new into gaming, and you don't want to put them off with some of these more complex games, this looks like a really nice little fun family game that you can play. It's going right now, so the Kickstarter campaign ends on April the 9th. At the moment, there's still some early bird spots left, which you can get for $18. I think the non-early bird price, is $22 from what I remember. And you have to add on, I think, $13 for shipping outside of the US. But all in all, it's a reasonable price game. But that's enough of the rules, I think, and that's enough of my overview. I'll go and get my son, and we'll come in and we'll play a 2-player version. See you in a bit.